Hey everybody, I'm Barb, Owen of HowToGetCreative.com, and my guest today, once again on What is Clausman, aka R.L. Owen, my husband. And, he gets that name, he comes by that name honestly because he does wood carving, and he does a lot of wood carving, especially in toward the holiday season. He does a lot of Santa Clauses, therefore he gets called Clausman. But he does carvings of all different kinds of other subject matter as well. Now, I have a question for you. There's been a lot of noise coming out of the garage, which is back way off. You can't even see it. But there's been a lot of noise coming out of that part of my house. And I want to know what in the world you've been doing out there.
Well,
what have you been doing?
I've been doing some power carving.
Power carving.
Power carving.
I see you brought some stuff in here, and you've transformed my creative space right here. And so I want to know, maybe you should show them what you're talking about here.
Okay, some of what I have in here today are just some of the basic power carvers that I have. I have quite a few others, but this is really much some of the basic stuff.
So what is this thing?
This is actually a Dremel. That's the brand name. It's a Dremel, and it's a flex shaft. I'm going to pull this over here and see the shaft. What we have, the Dremel is turning inside here, and that makes this out here turn. Now, the thing about that, this is much handier and much easier to use for a lot of things than one that...
So where does this thing go?
Okay, you can hang this, you scoot it over here. Hey, you hang that up.
So this part hangs up.
That hangs up, and so this is just hanging up somewhere on your workbench. That way, the shaft, and you hold this shaft, can hold it like that.
Kind of like a pen.
You can hold it like this. You can hold it whatever's comfortable for you with whatever you're doing.
And this thing over here, show them what that tip looks like up real close there.
Okay, that tip is it's rough. It's I've got another one or two here that I'll show you, give you a bit of an idea, comparison. See the difference in those?
So the different shape means what?
The different shape means that's the different way, the different design you can do with it. What we're looking at here now is the texture of it. This one right here will cut a whole lot faster than the other one because this is smoother.
Yeah, so I noticed this one that you have here is really rough.
Yes.
And this one looks smooth. Is that because this is old, or is that a different tool?
No, it's a different tool.
Ah.
And then this one over here is less than that. Now, when you start talking about shape, this one here, that's small enough you could get back into a kind of a sharp area, a small area, back in a crack on something you're carving.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Okay.
Why would you why would you choose to do power carving when you have a whole, I'm looking at them right here, right across the area where we sit. We have all kinds of tools over there, hand tools and cutting tools and gouges and all kinds of things. Why would you use power carving? What's the point?
One of the main reasons that I've come up with to use power carving is some wood does not carve real easy.
Ah, okay.
It when you start to carve with a gouge, it may roll up. If anybody's ever heard of balsa wood, what I would have worked with has not been balsa wood, but it kind of rolls up on you. It doesn't cut real easily.
But the power carving,
the power carver will go right through it and make it. Now, some people like to use the power carvers to carve everything, lots and lots of stuff, which is fine. That's
legal.
That's legal.
Oh, okay.
That's legal.
Well, that's good.
Not necessarily my cup of tea, but that's legal.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely
it's hard to take a power carver with you when you're out on the back deck carving, isn't it?
That's true. That's true. And if I throw a power carver, or if I take a power carver with me when we go camping or something,
You got to bring the generator
too.
too.
No place to plug it in.
You got to bring a generator too. Okay, show them some. See some other tools because I know you've got a couple over there.
Okay, there's another one here that is very similar to this one right here.
Okay, let's move this so you can show it to
This happens to be a different brand, but it doesn't have the flex shaft on it. So what you have to do, you have to hold it in your hand like this to move it around to cut whatever you want to cut.
Now this looks to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks to me like this is a lot heavier to hold than this.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
your hand might get a lot more tired a lot quicker.
Absolutely. What you'll end up doing, you'll end up using both hands on it. If you're going to do it very much, you'll end up getting hold of it with both hands.
Do the same bits
Those same tips
work in this one?
Work in that one.
Or this one?
Or that one.
Okay. Cool.
Sure will.
Okay, what else you got?
All right, well, let's get those off. Get them out of the way.
There's a lot of stuff going on over here, people. Let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff happening here. So be patient. Be patient a minute.
All right, here's one here that is used for some heavy carving. Let's see. We may need to do that over here on this other because that one's not going to be in focus.
So what kind of tool? This is a big old tool right there.
Now see this. See that? You can see I've got to hold them with both hands. It's actually an angle grinder that I put this Arbortech carving unit on it.
So you buy that unit.
You buy that separately and put that on this angle grinder, and this will cut so much faster than you could do with those flex shafts and those smaller ones that I showed. But it's not very smooth. It doesn't come out real smooth, so you have to come back with the others with the flex shaft and smooth things up.
So you can get rid of a lot of material pretty quickly.
Yes, and if you're carving something that's big, and say you're carving out of doing a stump or a log, piece of a log or something, and you don't care if it's rough, so be it,
So I bet that they use something like this when they're doing chainsaw carving, but they could use something like this to do some of the detail.
To do some of the detail, absolutely right.
Yeah.
And chainsaw carving, this would do the detail, yes.
Okay. What else you got? I see another one over there.
All right, there's another one over here. This one all right, okay, I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, this one is, you can see there's the tip that I have in it is a V shape. Let's show it over here. Then I can go back to that if I want to.
So what's that V-shaped thing called?
That it's just a V tool.
That's a gouge, right?
It could be like a gouge. Yes, that would be like a gouge. Now, this tool, I have different blades that I can put in it that are different shapes, just like my hand carving gouges. Now, just to give you an example, here is a hand carving gouge. And see what the shape of it is?
It's got that V shape.
It's got that V shape. It's a V tool.
So why are you going to use...
Or a Vader. Just depends on what you want to call it.
So why are you going to choose this tool rather than this one?
Well, there are some things that trying to use this tool right here, the wood does not cut real well. It rolls up on you. It's just kind of spongy.
So it's the same reason you would use the other power carving
Exactly.
tools.
And this right here will go through that spongy wood because of the vibration is different than you just pushing this V tool in there, because you're just pushing it in.
But this one vibrates.
And that one vibrates, and that makes this cut.
Okay, that's cool.
Makes it cut. Now.
So what's an example?
An example of using that. This is a Cypress knee. up here. All right, this is a Cypress D.
And it's huge.
It's huge. I don't have any small ones or out of. Okay,
That's
the top of it. This is a Cypress D. This is like 21 inches tall, and they come out of a swamp. Actually, I got these from a guy that cuts them out of a swamp down in Louisiana.
And they're absolutely gorgeous.
They are.
Gorgeous.
They're gorgeous, just like they are. Just like they are without doing anything to them.
And they're a total pain to carve,
But
from
they
what
are,
I hear.
In my opinion, they are a very, very hard thing to carve. That's why I use the oscillating carver, the vibrator, to carve them. Now, here's one here that I have started.
And it's almost impossible to show these to you very easily
you really
because they're
can't
so tall.
Because of the size of them. But you can see.
But all those tools that you were showing, you can use those kinds of tools because this wood is really spongy, but you use those tools
I could
to
use that
carve through this.
oscillating tool. Now, I will say this, a lot of these little cuts in here for the hair, I might do those with a hand gouge. Because I'm doing them very shallow.
So you do
Use
the
both.
Big stuff with the power carvers, and then you come back and detail
come back
it.
and put the detail in with with a hand gouge.
So this one's just started. He's not done, right?
This was just started, and he's not completed.
So we don't know what he's going to be yet.
Not yet. Now, here's one here. He decided what he wanted to be to come out of this Cypress D.
You might be able to turn him this way a little bit too, so they could get maybe a little bit better look at his.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's
so we can get him. We'll get him here in a second, folks.
Gets his head up
there. We go.
There
So you can see him a little bit better.
Now, if I could just do this, well, there's his face. There's his beard. Clear on down to the bottom of the Cypress D.
So you can see how his beard just kind of wraps around.
You can see how his beard just wraps around. And then up in the top, I inset a stone in there.
That's a piece of ruby and zoisite.
How about that?
I think is what it was called.
And then.
But again, he's done with power carving tools and the gouges.
He's done with
or
both.
Hand tools.
Yes, he's done with the hand tools as well as with that power carver.
Yeah, cool. So power carving tools don't replace your hand tools, but they sure do make it easier.
They assist. Yes, they assist.
They help you out.
In a lot of ways, they assist and are very handy.
Yeah.
I honestly, I prefer the hand gouges. Mm-hmm. That's
You're
what I have.
old school.
Well, that's what I've used from the time I started, or even a pocket knife that you have got sharpened up real sharp, and and something like that. But I like the hand gouges. Mm-hmm. I prefer those over the power carving, but still yet, if I get something that I need to power carve, I'll power carve it.
Well,
that's not a big deal.
Yeah, and so, now I know what all that noise is. It's been coming from the other part of this house. Uh-huh. And he does some beautiful work, for sure. So, anyway, we just wanted to answer the question, what is power carving? And I think we've scratched the surface and let you know a little bit.
Yes.
So
scratch the surface.
So we thank you for watching, and we hope that if you would like to know more information about creative arts classes, that you'll come on over to HowToGetCreative.com, because as we always say, remember to get creative today, because it's easy. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.